What am I most proud of about my whole career? What feels the best is when I received that plaque, knowing that my fans went and picked up the album, and they're the reason why I'm sitting on this couch and I'm doing what I'm doing, and the reason why the movie's doing well. And that feels the best, to know that I've touched people overseas as well as here in America. And when I get that plaque, that means everything.
Now, do you have any regrets?
I have no regrets. I've lived a full life. At 21, I've done a lot in just 21 years. I'm very happy.
Yo, what's good? This is your boy, your man, Randall Barnes, and you're watching the Randall Barnes Experience video podcast. Now, today is January the 16th, and it is the birthday of singer Aaliyah. Now, Aaliyah tragically passed away on August the 25th, 2001, but she still inspires so many people today, including me. I'm the author of the young adult book series, The Diary of Aaliyah Anderson, and as I was writing the book and promoting the book, a lot of people would ask me where I got the name Aaliyah from, and I wouldn't sugarcoat it, I wouldn't lie. I said that I got the name Aaliyah from the singer Aaliyah. Since I'm only 19, I was not around for Aaliyah's initial run when she was a child star, but I do remember when she was rising in prominence in the pop world. She was in Romeo Must Die, and she was doing a lot of songs for movie soundtracks such as the Dr. Dolittle 2 soundtrack, Are You That Somebody? And it seems like everybody in my generation, the 90s kids that were born 96 to 99, loved that song when they were children because of the baby noises. I personally love Are You That Somebody, and her songs were hot on the radio at that time. I didn't really pay attention to her because I was only like 4 or 5 in pre-K, so Aaliyah was cool, but I really wanted to watch Barney and Sesame Street. However, I started to make note of the greatness of Aaliyah and her music when I got in 9th grade. I remember I was up one morning and I was on YouTube and I was listening to R&B music, and of course Aaliyah's songs come up because she's one of the most prominent artists of the late 90s, early 2000s. So I ended up watching a string of her videos, and I saw in these suggested videos that there was an MTV Diaries episode that Aaliyah was a part of. So I clicked on it and I was watching it, and I was amazed by how down to earth Aaliyah was and how happy and positive she acted. So I was watching, I was laughing, I was into it. She was at the award show, she went to the park, she was on the roller coaster wilding out. Then I saw in the suggested video part of that video I was watching, the infamous Rock the Boat BET Access Granted episode that was the last recorded footage of Aaliyah. And in that episode, Aaliyah was still having fun, wilding out, having a good time on the beach, chilling with her team and her people. And it brought me to tears, man, because I saw that Aaliyah was such a beautiful young woman that at 22 had her whole life ahead of her. It was then I truly saw that life wasn't fair. My dad used to always tell me that when I wouldn't get my way over petty stuff. My dad would tell me, son, life isn't fair. But watching that video of BET Access Granted where they were covering the Aaliyah Rock the Boat video shoot, it just sunk in right then and there what my dad was telling me. But what a lot of us fail to realize is that it's true, life isn't fair and life oftentimes doesn't go our way. But even in spite of that, we should live our lives to our greatest potential. If you look back at the Aaliyah MTV Video Diaries and the Aaliyah Access Granted episode where they covered Rock the Boat, you saw Aaliyah living her life the best way she knew how.
I'm someone who really enjoys laughter.
Get it rolling,
and a good sense of humor.
Matter of fact, we're gonna break into a song now. We're going to a party tonight.
Let me do Uprock.
It just makes the work that much easier when you have friends that work hard like you do and love their work and can have a good time at the same time.
My freestyle just got the jack. Ooh, but how about that rhyme?
That made me want to write a tribute to Aaliyah. So I started writing my first story that became a book, The Diary of Aaliyah Anderson. It was a total tribute to Aaliyah. You can say it was a fan fiction. I call it more of a tribute story because you know how crazy fan fiction stories can get. Aaliyah Anderson at that point in time when I was writing that story literally was the 13-year-old version of Aaliyah in 2011. She could sing, she looked like Aaliyah, she talked like Aaliyah, she expounded the same virtues of Aaliyah. I eventually decided to change the story, but I didn't change it that much. Yes, Aaliyah Anderson is not an Aaliyah Haughton, or who I call the singer Aaliyah, copy, but she still has the same virtues that Aaliyah had. Because if you look at Aaliyah, she was a family-oriented person.
My brother's with me almost all the time.
This is my first time in Paris. I'm so excited.
We're very close. You know, it's great to have a brother that you can be so tight with.
I want to know where he is at all times. So you can go, how about
That's because
he's a grown man, but I want to.
We're
Exactly.
like this. We're best buddies.
He's slightly protective, but that's normal. You know what I mean? But I'm very much.
But girl, have I brought home with you?
I liked a few girls that you brought home. I liked your other girlfriend a lot.
What happened?
You didn't like her. You broke off with her. It wasn't me.
Oh, I think that is the case.
See?
And on top of that, Aaliyah was, in my opinion, the true essence of what a young woman is. Because even when she started making more sexual songs, they were still classy. There are folks that are my age that still do not know that Rock the Boat was a sexual song. A lot of folks, and this is true, still believe that Rock the Boat was about actual boat and swimming. Rock the Boat is a perfect example of the brilliance of Aaliyah because she wasn't all up in your face with her sexuality. She was classy, she still handled business, she still was sensual, and she was down to earth and cool. Personally, I believe that girls should look up to Aaliyah and exalt Aaliyah more than we do Marilyn Monroe. Aaliyah is our generation's icon. Aaliyah is our generation's legend. But I don't see folks walking around with Aaliyah shirts. I never see people with Aaliyah merchandise, but I used to always see guys and girls that wore Marilyn Monroe apparel. In response to that, I changed The Diary of Aaliyah Anderson from being this a tribute short story to Aaliyah to becoming the novel series that it is. Aaliyah Anderson is her own person, but she's still expounding and expounding these same philosophies that is laced all through Aaliyah's story and Aaliyah's interviews and Aaliyah's music videos at the end of the day. I'm happy to say that through the character of Aaliyah Anderson that Aaliyah Haughton created and inspired, that I've inspired young women around the world to become comfortable being who they are. I want Aaliyah in 2016 to be remembered not only for her music or her style, but also for the person she was. Because from what I see, Aaliyah was fly and the baddest thing walking back in the early 2000s, and I feel like J. Cole, he said that he wished he would have dated Aaliyah. I feel the exact same way, J. Cole. Thank you for watching the Randall Barnes Experience video podcast. Make sure to subscribe to me on YouTube at Randall Barnes. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, Instagram at Periscope at Author Randall B. And happy birthday to Aaliyah. And thank you so much for inspiring me to create Aaliyah Anderson that inspired thousands of young women around the world. Thank you so much. And I love you, Aaliyah. Make sure to check out my books, The Diary of Aaliyah Anderson, Volume 1 and 2, along with Review High Circumstances. And I will talk to you later. Peace.
The Lord has blessed me with a wonderful family, which is what I'm thankful for. First, good friends, a beautiful voice, and a very successful career. And fans that definitely love and care for me. A lot of blessings, and I'm thankful for.